Thank you very much for joining us again. We're talking about poltergeists in general, but we're specifically at the moment talking about the Enfield poltergeist story now. I was talking about Guy Lyon Playfair, about that I managed to talk to him about it, and it was a great interview. It was the depth that he went into, and it's one of those cases that I wish I'd been at, because I'm pretty sure if you had the technology you have today, you would have figured out one way or the other whether it was true or whether it was false. But what's your standpoint on the whole thing?
Well, I discussed the case several times in depth with Morris. A lot of it was off record, exactly what went on even behind the scenes and off camera, because people only know what's been produced.
Absolutely.
For the media. Morris would agree that he did lose control of the investigation through media involvement, and that it became pretty much of a circus. Initially, I believed there was a phenomenon taking place. The characteristics that are there for phenomena, for poltergeist phenomena to be present, especially the age and the conditions of the. There are certain faculties that take place or recognised where poltergeist manifests, and it manifests best where there are children of an age where they're adolescent. Also, that there could be stress involved in the environment, such as financial difficulties, or even people living in poverty sometimes, have those experiences. And they fitted. We have a sheet, a psychological order sheet, and basically they fitted the profile 100% for that. So that was what was interesting to initially, which got my interest. Morris pretty much agreed that that he believed the phenomenon was a true and present phenomenon. As time went on, it got very, very difficult to ascertain what is actually going on, because there could have been some showmanship involved. The girls were playing for the media. The media were asking the girls. I mean, this is what you don't hear. The media were asking the girls to do things.
I can. You see, I can think if you've got a newspaper sending a journalist over to somebody's house with a fairly sensational story like that, that journalist doesn't want to go back to their editor and say, well, nothing really happened. And I'm not saying that. I'm certainly not saying that this is obviously. Morris has said this. I wouldn't say that they've done that, but I think that the big problem is once you get a high-profile case like this. I remember reading it when it happened in the newspapers. When I was only a kid, but I remember reading it. But even then, I remember the photographs, thinking they're just jumping on the bed.
Yeah.
And I could have done the same thing from from where my brother and I slept. We could have replicate the same.
I think under the circumstances, there was obviously the girls were manufacturing things, but there was also referred to as mimic phenomena. When you thought there was times when they were thought to be the girls, which were the girls always made certain bangs of certain equipment in their bedroom. And there had been, and this isn't actually publicly known, there was a couple of times when noises were heard up there, and they thought it was the girls, but they weren't up there. And it's as if like the phenomena was actually mimicking even the falsifying events. They're even mimicking those.
So like the ghosts are saying, well, I can do that as well.
Exactly. And I think at some stage we had a combination of the girls playing up and seeking attention as much as they can. And it's the biggest event that's ever happened in their lives. It's bound to affect them adversely. And the phenomena taking place as well. So it became very difficult to ascertain what was phenomena and what wasn't.
But that's the hard thing, again, once you've got the media involved. I mean, now it'll be completely different. You would have TV shows, probably like the ones we do, would be there. You'd have certainly TV coverage, you'd have news coverage, you'd have people staying there all night. And I don't know, actually, earlier I said we'd probably find out quicker if it was fake or not. I'm not sure whether you would. If people are that desperate to make that work, they would prolong it again as long as they could. And I think that I mean, we're only talking about the Enfield poltergeist. There's obviously a lot more others. I mean, there's a Cardiff poltergeist.
There's a
case.
There is, there's a number of them.
If those girls are still alive, it'd be good to interview them now, wouldn't it?
Well, they are. No, they
oh, are they?
Yeah,
they have been interviewed.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
At what age?
I think they were done a couple of years ago. The urban ghost story.
No, there was one actually on the Enfield poltergeist.
And they're still saying the same things.
Oh yeah, they believe. I mean, of course, it was chaotic for them, from what they can remember. And
But then again, you
It
know,
was a long time
their
back.
minds are going to be set to what took place when they were a child and what's been filled in their mind, and they've had to. A lot of people say one thing and they've got to stick by that and abide by it, and then eventually end up believing it. So again, it's something that even today, can you believe some of the stories?
As kids, you kind of fill in the gaps yourself anyway of what happened. I mean, let's look at all of us sitting around this table. If we said, you know, what did you do when you were 15? You could probably pick. I know, you know, having a media around your house constantly is a fairly big thing, but even if you think of anything big that happened when you were 15, you'd kind of fill in the gaps quite a bit.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, your mum and dad probably would.
That's right.
You know, or your brothers or sisters or your friends would.